You think?
Not
Agadir,
like big singles and stuff.
but Agadir
Like,
is tall.
Isn't there one in Oslo? What's the thing in Oslo called?
Sushi, Agadir,
Quarry?
home, it means
But
Amazon.
like if you drive up to it,
Oh.
it's just like, it's all like white rocks and then there's water goes into rain.
Just common here,
Yeah, Roman.
Just Roman people we told him, you is Berber. Berber that means white.
Wow.
No?
They in Dutch, yeah, they say like not civilized,
Yeah.
like you, not civilized with people, the city and stuff. They say that means Berber.
For example,
But actually not
when
a good
you
word.
want to speak with somebody and they say, you know, scared or something.
Yeah.
You know, when you come Roman people here, you make this name for us.
No.
You've had like
Berber.
a million.
yeah,
That's the name.
I know, but you had like one
Name is
rolling.
Amazon.
But do you see how you sound?
Last one.
For
The
Rief
last one.
and Sushi.
Now when you say for
Got to ring.
good
What is
Berber
it?
people, you have to be Berber to be here. Let's know you Berber, Amazon.
Amazon.
You don't like Berber.
No. It's not a good name.
Yeah.
The white people give
Because
the name.
the yes, because the Berber that means white.
Yeah.
Berber.
The same as the
Berber.
What's the word say? Do you
the
know?
same as the Indians.
Yeah.
You know the Indians?
Arabic, not one of your
The
languages.
Native Americans? They call them savage. It's the same thing.
So I like this.
Same. Berber and the Native Americans, the Indians, the same.
Yes.
When the white people come there, they say they savage, they wild, wild.
So
Means crazy. So it's the same thing.
Shalom. I want to start off with saying all praise and glory to Yahawah, baha, sham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS for teaching us this truth. Shalom to all the sincere Akyam pushing this word of sincerity and truth. Man, it's the brother Tazza Bashar, and I'm coming with the historical lesson. I'm gonna talk about the Moors. So basically I'm gonna name this video from Israelites to Moors to Berbers, Yeah, I'm gonna start off with the name Morocco, man. The land of the Moors. Why do I say that? Because if you look at the word Morocco, Morocco, the word Moor is in it, man. And what does the word Moor mean? The word Moor means black. And it comes from the Greek Maurus. Also in the Latin, the word moreno. You hear a lot of Latinos say it, moreno. So the thing that happened is, who are these Moors? And these Moors are Israelites, man. And I'm gonna go deeper into that. If I'm gonna read Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84, starting with in the year 65 BC. So I'm gonna read it. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state with great slaughter. During the period of the military governance of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people. During the period of Pompey to Julius, it has been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. So this shows you that in 70 AD, the Israelites, which are Negroes, Latinos, and Indianos, fled into Africa, man. We all know that. But also a great amount of Israelites fled into the northern part of Africa, man. You know? They fled into the land which was then called Mauritania. Or Slakia, Mauritania. So what I said was Mauritania, and that's where basically the Moors, the name Moors comes from, man, and Mauritania came during the time of the Romans, before Jay came into rulership in the Roman Empire, man. So that was the period from 168 BC till 193 AD that the Romans were in rulership, and they had that region, Mauritania. So what happened was these black Jews, or like Babylon till Timbuktu says, but basically the Israelites fled into West Africa, man, and also towards Mauritania, which was later called Morocco. Morocco. The Romans were people who was giving names to people, civilizations they didn't know, and that also happened with the Israelites, man. Because what did the Most High do? The Most High had put something upon our people, man. I'm gonna read this scripture. It's Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 26. Khan. There is none like unto the Most High. Oh, Slakia. 32. Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 26. It says, I said I would scatter them into the corners. I would make the remembrance of them to cease from among men. So the Most High would scatter the children of Israel and would make the remembrance to cease from among men. So what happened was, everywhere where we fled, we got another name, man. If you look at the word Igbo, Igbo comes from Iber, means Hebrew. If you look at the word Berber, we was named Berbers also by the Romans. The people who were in Morocco. And the word Berber basically means barbarian, savage, wild. When I was talking with the guy that was giving the tour, he was a Susi, man, because you have different Berber tribes, and he was from the Susi tribe, and when I came there, they was looking at me like, hey, you Moroccan, man, you have to be a Susi, because the dark skin, and they were the people who were in the mountains, fled from the Romans and fled from the Arabs later on, man, fleeing from them. So they that's why I went there, man. I wanted to see their reaction, They looked at me like I'm from there. So that already shows you, you know, we are basically the same people. So, but the people didn't like the word Berber. Neither did the Native Americans like the name Indian, man, because it means savage. So, but they call themselves Amazir. Amazir means free people, and that basically goes back to the Israelites in the time that the Israelites were fleeing from Roman persecution, man, because the Romans were trying to put the Israelites into slavery, man. Put the Israelites into slavery, capture them, and slaughter them, man. But these people were fled, calling themselves free people, Amazir. So yeah, during the time that the Israelites established in Morocco and West Africa, Jake was coming into power, man. In that time, Jake was coming into power. And that was the time of Lucius Septimius Severus. So I'm gonna read the scripture because it's all mentioned in the Bible, man. I'm gonna read the scripture. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. This angel is talking about Lucius Septimius Severus, man. Severus. And his name means the cutter of seven. You know, to break down this Roman Empire which was before him, man. He was a Roman general in that time. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. That's what happened with these Edomites, man. These Edomites were bound up 1,000 years. These Edomites that were in rulership in the Roman Empire in the time 168 BC until 193 AD. That's when 193 AD is the time that Lucius Septimius Severus came into rulership, man, when he took over. So he laid hold on that devil, man, that old serpent, and that's Esau, man. That's the so-called white man. And also he had the key of the bottomless pit, and the bottomless pit is what? Europe, man. The bottomless pit is Europe. So he bound him 1,000 years. He brought Esau low, man. You know, he brought Esau low. So that's what happened, man. Verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. Now, if you count that 1,000 years, it goes until the 1400s, man. Because what happened in the 1400s? You know, in the 1400s, the Renaissance started, man. And the word Renaissance means new birth. So that's the time that these Edomites came back, man, from the caves, and were called Caucasians, man. Because what does Caucasian mean? Caucasian means cave dweller. I have a book right here. It's called The Crusades from Zoe Oldenburg. And the front page of the book, you see Jake pushing these Edomites into the caves, man. So that was, you know, when Jake came into rulership in Europe. So then in 325 AD, basically the pagan Rome started, man. pagan Rome, but they called it Holy Rome. Why Christianity came, the Catholic Church came, which was also in the time that Jake ruled, man. Constantine, Constantinople, and the Byzantine Empire around 330 AD, which was basically Europe, man, East Europe, and you can wonder why I say those people were Jakes, because the Negros, Latinos, and Indianos were scattered, man. They were scattered where? In Greece, in Rome, So Lucius Septimius Severus was basically an Israelite foreigner, man. He was basically a Gentile, an Israelite foreigner. This is Ephesians chapter 2 verse 19. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints, and of the household of Yahawah. So this is in the time of Paul, when he was going to Ephesus and Corinth, So in that time there were already Israelite foreigners, people with the nationality of Israel, but living in the other countries, in Greece, in which is now called Turkey, in Rome, Italy. So we were already scattered in that time, man. So basically, that was just Jake being around those Romans and that region of Greece and Rome, man. So that was the East, the Byzantine Empire, man. So what happened then was they pushed the Roman Catholic Church pushed this Islam, man. They pushed this Islam, and also before they pushed Islam, they during the Byzantine Empire, the Israelites, which were in Morocco, also started following Christianity, man. But next, after that, what happened? The Roman Catholic Church set up a Muhammad and tried to build up Islam to do what? To push these Arabs out of the country, man. To push these Arabs out of the country of Israel, man. And I also forgot to read this other scripture. This is Lamentation, because why? We were getting all these names, Berbers in West Africa, all the names, all the tribe names and stuff, and also the name Moor, basically the title Moor, and that's also in the scriptures, man. This is Lamentations chapter 4 verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It's become like a stick. This is not talking about our black skin, man. Because if you read the scripture above, the verse above, it's talking about pearls. Wait, let me read it. Verse 7. The Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. This is not talking about us being red, man. This is not talking about Israelites being red. No, this is talking about we were like pearls, man. We were royalty. We were a royal nation. So, verse 8, their visage was blacker than a coal. They are not known, but you see, now their visage is blacker than a coal. What's a coal compared to a precious stone, man? It's nothing, man. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaved to their bones. We were skinny, man. We were hungered. We fled into the desert towards West Africa and stuff, and Morocco. and the people didn't recognize us anymore. Why? Because we was royalty, man. You know. So then this Islam bullshit came, which I'm gonna do Yahawah Ratasa a video about after this, rebuking it. It was set up by the Roman Catholic Church, and and these Arabs were mixing with Jake, man, during the time of Muhammad. So I got this verse in Babylon till Timbuktu. So this is talking about Muhammad setting up this religion, man. So this is page 47, starting with coming to Jatrib. Coming to Jatrib, Muhammad found the inhabitants very hospitable to him and to his new religion. There were two factors that contributed to his hospitality. There were many influential Jews in Jatrib who were allies with the other Arabs. These Jews introduced the conception of one God. Moreover, the Arabs were somewhat tolerant of the Jews. So, in that time, when he was setting up his religion, there were Israelites who was dealing with these Arabs, man, who were basically friends and allies with these Arabs. So, the thing that happened was this Islam was set up and by the Roman Catholic Church, but instead of the Roman Catholic Church pushing out these Arabs, it had a side effect. So Israelites converted to Islam now. So that was the side effect, man. And then when the Arabs were going towards the northwest of Africa, they bumped into the Israelites, the Berbers, the Moors, you know. And then they pushed Islam on those Moroccan people, man, during the 600 until 700s, man. So now they started to mix and people fled into the mountains, the Berbers, you know, and Arabs and Israelites were more in the lower parts. Later they came down and further mixed, man. So that's basically what happened. And then in 711 AD, that's when the Moors came into Spain, man. Basically, the Israelites came into Spain, and that was still in the time of the rulership, man, of you know, the Byzantine Empire, man. Basically, Jake and Esau was brought very low, man. So what happened was the Israelites brought in a lot of things that these Edomites didn't know of, man, such as universities, libraries, translators, you know, because these Edomites couldn't read nor write, man. Neither in their rulership could they read or write. So when the Moors came into Europe, you know, the western part of Europe, the people were amazed, man. So of course they set up a lot of you know, a lot of mosques, and they also came with a great influence in music, man, because these Edomites, they don't have the inspiration, they don't have the talent to come with music, man, because the Moors came with ballroom music, the Moors came with classic music. That wasn't the Edomites, man. Basically, these Edomites stole everything from us, from the Israelites. Ballroom music, the piano, the guitar, you know. And also a thing that I saw when I was in Morocco was when I went to the Berbers. They was playing their Berber music, and if you listen to it, it really sounds like Native American music, man. They make sounds like, "Ooh," you know how the Native Americans do it, and they play this flute and they play this guitar, man. Hey, you know, if you hear the music, it already, you know, brings you to a certain, you know, vibe, man. But yeah, them going into Islam is nothing new, man, because it also happens in this time. It's still happening, man. So I'm gonna grab a scripture. I'm gonna grab Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. The thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Yeah, man, there's no new thing under the sun, man. That Jake is following Islam. It happened in the past, and it's still happening now, man. If you look at that Louis Farrakhan, you know, pushing this Islam nation of Islam, which isn't even a nation, you know, and he's leading away our people, man, who are Israelites. But that's the will of the Most High, man. The Most High Yahawah Shem Yahawashi wants it like that. Then it's gonna happen like that, man. But it's still, you know, like the scriptures say, the thing that had been is that which shall be. It's like is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of the former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. That's talking about reincarnation, man. You know, there's no remembrance that of your former life, basically, you know. But your spirit, if your spirit was dealing with Islam in that time, hey, you're gonna deal with Islam in this time, man. And if you look at this video, man, hey, you see a lot of Jakin in Morocco, man. Dark-skinned people, man. And if you look at them, man, you see straight up Jakes, man. But through the mixing process of nationalities, the Arabs with the Israelites, and the Israelites with the Romans, you know, it's a confusion of faces, man. But if you look at the way they move, some certain Moroccan people or busy with the, you know, if you look at the video, you see a lot of scooters and stuff. They making things with nothing, man, basically. So also when they came into Spain, they came with a lot of influential, man, because these Edomites didn't bathe, man. These Edomites didn't bathe. The Moors came with that, and it's written in Nature Knows No Color line, and I'm gonna read it. Let me look for it. This is written in page 60, and it says the Moors. That's where I'm gonna start. The Moors. So if you want to look it up, I start at the Moors. Like the Greeks and Romans, had a very low opinion of the whites to the north. You know? because during that time the Greeks and the Romans were Jake, man, had a very low opinion of the whites to the north, and had they not beaten them often on the battlefield and with inferior numbers, Aristotle, Cicero, Caesar, Tacitus, Constantine the Great, which came with Holy Rome, and Saint Jerome, hadn't thought much of them, and they hadn't probably advanced much in 10 centuries since, said Andalusia thought Nordics no higher than the primitive blacks of Africa inferior. He wrote, they are nearer animals than men. So that's the prophecy basically, that they were brought low, man, through the hand of the angel, which is Lucius Septimius Severus. You know, they are by nature unthinking, and their manner is crude. Their bellies are protrude, their color is white, and their hair is long. You know, they were looking like fucking cave people, man. You know, uncivilized. And the funny thing was, they is calling Native Americans savages and stuff, the Berber people savages, you know, slaves. But in that time, they were like that, man. But the Moors still digged it, you know. You know how Jake is, man. Jake likes everything. So yeah, man, Jake was digging it, man. Those cave women. So what happened was, there slavery. They was also taking these so-called white women into slavery, man. You know, using them as concubines. So yeah, um, these Moors were mixed with the Arabs and stuff. And I have this other thing in Nature Knows No Color Line about Morocco too, man. It says, page 55, and it's named, this is chapter 5, Racial Intermixture in Spain and Portugal. While white Vandals were pouring into Africa in the 4th and 5th centuries, Africans continued to arrive in southern Europe, chiefly as slaves, but in 711 AD they came in as conquerors. Crossing into Spain, they captured Gibraltar and defeated the Goths. White Germanic invaders, and 3 centuries earlier, their commander, Tariq, a Negro, gave his name to Gibraltar, formerly Calpe. These Africans were Moors, sometimes called Arabs because of their language. To the earlier Greeks, the Moors were a black or dark people. Maurus, like I already said, you know, the Greek word for black is Maurus. And the Romans, Maurus, a black woolly haired people, known synonymous as Ethiops, Niger, Negro, and after African, which is basically Israelite, you know. All these verbs are refer to Israel. Even as late as the 5th century AD, Propius, Roman historian, calls the people of Morocco black. You know. Then when I go to page 56 in the Chazon of Roland, written soon after they invaded France in 718 AD, they describe in verses 145 and 146 as blacker than ink, with large noses and ears, and with nothing white except the teeth. With nothing white except the teeth. They are 50,000 strong, and they are led by Marganis, emperor of Ethiopia and Carthage. Their most valiant figure is Abisme, who is described as black as melted pitch. In this epic, the Moors are called Saracens, a term which was also used for Negroes. So Saracens basically comes from Sarah's sons of Sarah, the wife of Abraham, you know, and who were the sons of Sarah? Isaac and Ishmael, you know. So the Arabs and basically Jade, man, because they were so mixed. But it's basically referring to the Negroes as it says. Then I have another thing. This is Nation Knows No Color Line, page 63. The Jews, starting at the Jews, also brought in much Negro strain. So it says, the Jews also brought in much Negro strain. Some of the nobles of the Sephardic families, aristocrats of Jewry, were Negroes. Isaac da Costa mentions sons and grandsons of Don Jachia ben Jayash, who were royal treasures, court physicians, astrologers, and royal favorites at the court of Castile and Portugal, one of whom was Don David Negro, who with other illustration Israelite, Don Judah. So you see the names, the surnames, it all goes back to Israel, man. And even though this book says the Jews also brought in, no, all the Jews were Negroes, man, you know, but mixed, man, because picture this, they were living in Rome, man. They were Jews living in Rome, you know, mixture with the Romans, the Moors, mixture with the Arabs, with the Romans, you know. But this book acts like, you know, it was still a minimum of Negroes, but basically Europe was filled with them, man, and was influencing the whole Europe, man. So Don Judah in the following year followed Don Leonara, widow of Don Fernando, whose favorites they had been in Castile. His name Negro is derived, according to the author of Chalchet, from Dos Negros, one of the three seigneuries which were given to his progenitor by the king of Portugal. So this was all in the region of Portugal, you know, Spain, Portugal. Certain it is that the house of Braganza, with all descendants in Europe, and King John I of Portugal have Jewish blood in their veins. He mentions another noble family named Negro. You know, a lot of Spaniards are called Negro, bearing the same arms as Petros. Preto was the name later used and still used in Portugal for Negro. So that came all from that royal family called Negro. And later, you know, Pedro. This is the last thing in Nature Knows No Color Line. It's page 65. As regards Christians, Spain and Portugal, Negroes were imported in droves from 1440 until the abolition of slavery in Portugal in 1773. Already before the discovery of America, says Fernando Ortiz, several thousand of Negro slaves had been expatriated from Senegal, Guinea, and Congo, and were working in Lisbon and Algarves, in Seville and in Andalusia. The Catholic sovereigns were dealers in Negro slaves, It was Christopher Columbus who went plundering in Negro slaves in Guinea before stealing Indian slaves in Cuba. Before the discovery of America, the Negroes already were cutting sugar cane in Andalusia and in Seville. There was a municipal council of native Negroes with fraternal orders, king and overseers. The Negroes came first to the Indies from Spain, not from Africa. So basically, the slavery started with the Moors, man, in Spain and in Portugal. They were the first slaves, you know. And this is the time that this devil was loosed up a little season. I'm gonna go back to Revelation chapter 20, and then I'm gonna close it. Revelation chapter 20 verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. So that's when the Renaissance came in, and they called the rulership of Jake the Dark Ages, man. Because the Dark Ages all comes from Jake being into Europe, man. But what they did, they destroyed all our evidence. So what's our history, Akiam? Our history is the Bible, man. Our history is the Bible, and it's the truth, because all the historical facts that happened to our people are in this Bible, man. You know. And we had Edomites, so-called white people, in slavery, and it's gonna happen again, man. And I can't wait for that day to come back, man. You know. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahawah, Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles of GMS for teaching us this truth. Shalom, Akiam.